Hey everybody, Matthew Hollis here with 365 Films. Basically what I do is I watch and review a new film a day for 365 days. So today is day 43 and the film that I'm reviewing is Fight Club. So Fight Club's directed by David Fincher and stars Brad Pitt, Helena Bonham Carter, and of course Edward Norton as the narrator. And so the whole story is really about this main character played by Edward Norton, and the story kind of starts out as he's an insurance guy that kind of cleans up bad cases for car dealerships and stuff if there's a defect in a car or something like that, and that would be unique in itself, just a film about that guy. But this film delves into a lot of different things, and he kind of has insomnia and really can't sleep, and he lives this kind of consumer lifestyle where he buys all these things from IKEA and everything like that just to kind of fill a need in himself that he really doesn't understand. Edward Norton starts going to these meetings for self-help and a bunch of other things for diseases like cancer, breast cancer and stuff, and he realizes by going to them and allowing himself to kind of cry out his pain or just for no reason, he's actually able to sleep and it cures his insomnia. Until a character named Marla Singer shows up, played incredibly by Helena Bonham Carter, and she kind of messes with his whole entire groove and ruins it because she doesn't have anything wrong with her as well, just like the narrator has nothing wrong with him, and he's going to these self-help meetings. And he realizes then that he can't sleep again. So his insomnia comes back because she's going to the meetings, so he ends up going on this plane ride and sits next to this man named Tyler Durden. And Tyler Durden is played by Brad Pitt, and they have kind of a single-serving friendship. That's what they call it in the film, you know, a person that you're only going to meet once and talk to. And Edward Norton says, you know, single-serving friend. And so they talk back and forth, and he finds out that Tyler Durden sells soap for a living. He makes and sells soap. And in that, he ends up going home and finds his apartment on fire. Well, who's the first person he calls? Tyler Durden, because he doesn't know anybody else. He has no other friends. So he calls Tyler Durden, and he ends up going and hanging out at a bar with him. And they kind of get into a fight just for no reason outside the bar. Tyler Durden asks him just to hit him, and they realize in this kind of brawl that they both really enjoy it. So they start this fight club, so to speak, and from there, the movie just starts to get even darker and darker. And Tyler Durden starts to kind of turn this fight club into a cult outside of what Edward Norton would want it to be. The narrator wants it to be. Brad Pitt gives one of the best performances of his entire career in Fight Club, as well as Edward Norton giving, in my opinion, his best in this film as well. And Helena Bonham Carter adds to it, even Meatloaf and Jared Leto. They all do an incredible job acting in this film. The direction is incredible, of course. David Fincher is a great and phenomenal director. He's incredible at directing these dark films like this. Like his films before this were Seven and many, many other kind of dark-like films. And this film's no exception to that. It's violent, it's gritty. You just need to watch this film. If you haven't seen Fight Club, definitely watch it. It's a little bit out there, and there is major, major twists and turns in the story, just like any David Fincher film. If you've seen Seven, then you know what you're getting into with Fight Club. And every step of this film I 100% enjoyed. And this actually is one of my favorite films of all time, guys. So this is kind of a biased review. I watch this film at least 2 to 3 times a year. I enjoy it every single time I see it, and I find something new in it every single time I see it. And that's what I love about these types of films, that you can find something new in it every single time you watch it. And that's also because of the incredible cinematography in this film. The film's brilliantly shot, just like any other of David Fincher's films. It doesn't shy away at all from the blood or anything in these fights when these guys are fighting each other in Fight Club. This film came out in 1999, and it's incredible how a film like this that came out in 1999 still has kind of a resonance today. You know, we have this consumerism about ourselves, myself included. You know, I go out and I buy random things that I don't understand why I need them. I don't need them, but I end up buying them anyways. And this film's actually about that quite a bit and falling in kind of line with what corporations want you to think and want you to feel. And this film really is kind of hilarious in a lot of ways, in my opinion. And it's also one of those films that, like I said, grows on you, and you see many different things in it more times you watch it. And that is why Fight Club is one of my favorite films of all time. And it is actually one of my top 5 favorite films. I would give this film a 10 out of 10. There's really nothing I dislike about this film, so I highly recommend you guys check out Fight Club if you haven't yet. As always, you guys can recommend films to me. I'm watching 365 films this year. This is only film 43, so recommend comments down below of what films you guys want me to watch, whether they're good, they're bad. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just watching a bunch of films. I actually enjoy doing bad film reviews as well and reviewing films that kind of are kind of idiotic or stupid. I enjoy reviewing good films as well, like Fight Club and like Pulp Fiction and many other films that I've reviewed so far. So thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll have another film review for you guys tomorrow.